welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Alice.
I'm Anthony.
And today we have a composition. Woohoo! So our unit is on laundry nightmare. And remember, when we do these type of compositions, we usually want to have some sort of introduction, like a setup of who's the main character, what's going on, where are you, etc. And then you should have some sort of conflict in the middle, right? What's the problem or the main issue? And then at the end is where we have the resolution, the ending, how does everything wrap up?
Yeah, 没错，我们又到了这个看图写作的时间，对不对？我们今天呢碰到的看图作文呢，它是在讲洗衣服的梦魇，英文的那个 title 叫做 Laundry Nightmare。好，所以老师刚刚简单的先跟我们说明一下说，你看我们每次提到写作的时候，看图写作通常都是先开始介绍一下这个故事的背景，交代一下场景啦、人物啦，甚至你可能会需要帮这个人物取一个名字，对不对？好，取了名字之后，在中间这个地方应该有一些 conflict。好，这个老师刚刚提到的 conflict 这个词就是冲突的意思 ，conflict。conflict 就是冲突，好，可能有些冲突，可能有些问题，然后呢，必须要解决嘛。然后到了最后呢，通常会有一个 resolution， 就会有一个解决的办法，或者你也可以用 solution 这个词来表达，都是指解决办法的意思。然后最后可能会有一个圆满的结局。当然，结局不圆满也不是什么问题啦，看你要怎么样写这个故事。那最后的这个结局的部分就可以把它收尾，这样的话就是一个写这个看图作文一个最好的策略哦。
So let's take a breather and then we'll get right into it.
Laundry nightmare. David likes to stay at home and relax over the weekend. On Sunday night, as usual, David was lying on his bed, eating chips and watching his favorite drama. It was then that David noticed his laundry basket filled with dirty clothes. It struck David that he had not washed his clothes for a week, so he hastily put his clothes in the washing machine. Afterwards, David returned to his bedroom and continued watching the drama, only to accidentally fall asleep. The next evening, when David was about to take a shower, he noticed that his laundry basket was nowhere to be found. Not until that moment did David recall that he had done the laundry the night before. David hurried to take his clothes right away. However, when he took out the clothes, they gave off a terrible smell. So, he had to wash them again.
All right, let's get into it. So let's start with the first kind of panel, right? David likes to stay at home and relax over the weekend. So if you're just relaxing, you're just kind of chilling, you're not really doing very much, maybe just eating or watching TV, you're relaxing, not stressed.
没错，在这边的话，我们来先看到一下可能相对于第一张图里面呢，我们第一句话是说 David likes to stay at home and relax over the weekend. 我们现在知道主角我们帮他取了 David 这个名字David 大卫 likes to stay at home 喜欢待在家里面 and relax over the weekend 周末就是赖在家嘛，有的时候会在家耍废啊，所以有时候你会说看看电视啦，或者是做一些无聊的事情，上网啊，滑手机啊等等，大概是这样。
On Sunday night, as usual, David was lying on his bed, eating chips, and watching his favorite drama. So drama usually is a TV series, right? Whether it's a Asian drama or a Western drama. And notice that they put a time and place, right? They said on Sunday night, okay, so as he usually does this on Sunday night. He eats chips and watches TV. Pretty good.
Yeah, 听起来好感觉好 chill 感觉很棒，对不对？所以在这边的话，你看他先告诉你的人名，对不对？剩下的这些场景就陆陆续续的去介绍。先告诉你说，他平常在周末的时候 over the weekend 他是常态的，他都喜欢在家放松，不会到处跑去玩。然后他说这一次进入到了故事了 on Sunday night 在某一次的这个礼拜天晚上呢 as usual 有没有相对于第一句话也像平常一样 David was lying on his bed eating chips and watching his favorite drama 老师刚刚特别有介绍了 drama 这个字，好，就是戏剧，好像是那种 TV series， 好，就是那种电视剧，不管是西方的或是在亚洲的这些剧等等。那他这边的话就是躺在沙发上，躺在床上，很轻松的吃着洋芋片呢，啊，一边看他最喜欢的电视剧。所以你可以看到第一张图上面，你就是试着去用这种方式去描述你所看到的场景哦。
So yeah, again, that part really kind of gave us a good setting. And then this next sentence says, it was then that David noticed his laundry basket filled with dirty clothes. So, because in that first panel, you can see it, right? In the back with those little stink lines, right? That tells you it's dirty or stinky. And he has that little mark where kind of he noticed it, right? He noticed it like, oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, it smells, right? He noticed it filled with dirty clothes.
没错，好，老师刚刚提到一个字叫 stinky， 好，我在猜你们应该认得这个字，因为我们有 stinky tofu， 对，臭豆腐嘛，所以 stink 这个字的话 ，S-T-I-N-K stink 就是指臭臭的动词，但如果变成加一个 y 的话，就变成形容词 stinky， 就是觉得闻起来臭臭的感觉。所以你在图上面你会看到说，那个洗衣篮上面已经出现那种好像臭臭的那个味道散发出来，然后他眼睛旁边不是有一个，他注意到这件事吗？所以说今天你就可以在这边描述这句话，他说 It was then that David noticed his laundry basket filled with dirty clothes。好，在这边的话 ，it was 跟 that， 请你帮我把这三个字圈起来哦。It was that， 好，通常是 it was 跟 that 去强调他们中间的东西。那个东西是什么？就在 then 当时的时候 ，it was then that， 好，就是在那个时候 ，David noticed his laundry basket filled with dirty clothes。他注意到，等等，我那个洗衣篮里面怎么都是脏衣服，应该要处理一下了吧？然后就告诉你是这样的一个现象。
So that's a good way to summarize that first panel. And then they have to continue, right? It struck David that he had not washed his clothes for a week. So he hastily put his clothes in the washing machine. He didn't put on his clothes. He put his clothes in the washing machine. So that kind of goes with the second panel, right? Where you can see that, all right, he's putting it in the washing machine with kind of a, I don't know, scared looking face or a stinky face. I don't know what kind of facial expression that is.
没错，他的那个第二张图其实还蛮好笑，他好像是拿了一个那个夹子去夹住他的鼻子，因为很臭嘛，哈。所以刚刚在 Alice 老师在提到说他把它穿上的时候，我觉得哇，好恐怖哦！不是，他是把它丢进那个洗衣机里面去。所以你看一下这两句话哦，它这个地方，它这个前面这句前半句的话是 It struck David that。如果你今天想说 It struck somebody that， 就是这个人突然想起了什么什么事情，你也可以说 It occurred to him that。好，就是突然让他想到。这个 occur 的拼法是 O-C-C-U-R-R-E-D， 好，要记得，如果说 occur 变成过去式的话，它要重复字尾 r， 所以你可以说 It struck David that， 就是指他突然想起了什么呢？ He had not washed his clothes for a week， 他有1个礼拜没有洗衣服了耶，所以 so he hastily put his clothes in the washing machine， 他就赶快把这些脏衣服啊，通通都丢到这个洗衣机里头去了。
Next we have afterwards, David returned to his bedroom and continued watching the drama, only to accidentally fall asleep. So again, with falling asleep, I think probably you already know this, but just to reiterate, right, we don't just like asleep, right? You have to like fall asleep, like not literally falling, but that's what they call it. You fall asleep. You don't just like asleep all of a sudden. You have to fall asleep.
没错，在这里的话特别注意一下，就是老师刚刚有提到说，如果说用 fall asleep， 比较强调是那种从没睡着到睡着这个动作感。如果说今天想要 someone is asleep， 就是在形容他的状态，好，他的状态是睡着的状态。如果要强调那种睡着的那个动作感的话，你用 fall asleep 是绝对没问题，是比较能够描述那种感觉的。所以你看这边这句话，他说了 afterwards David returned to his bedroom， 好，他就把东西丢进去给洗衣机洗嘛 ，and 然后他就回到了这个他自己的这个房间继续看剧嘛 ，and continue watching the drama。Only to accidentally fall asleep。如果你提到 only to 的话，代表原本没有预期到，居然不小心的没有料到的事情，那种感觉就一个大反差、大反转，告诉你说，居然发现 这样的事情，居然出现了这样的结果，然后不小心的 accidentally fall asleep， 他就睡着了。
And notice that last sentence, there's no picture that shows him like falling asleep, right? Or it doesn't show him returning to his bedroom necessarily, but they added it because it kind of shows some context. Like, is he just standing there watching the laundry, like the laundry machine? No, in this story, right, they decided to have him go back to his room and keep watching TV until he fell asleep.
没错，所以在这边的话，即便这个图画里面没有画出来，所以其实我们可以从第3张图中看到说，好像中间发生了一些事情。你大概推理一下，就说啊，那可能他没有看着洗衣机，然后等他洗完把它拿出来，所以才会有第3张图的状况嘛。那你去想他们会做什么事情啊？前面在追剧，你试想你追剧追到一半，你还想到，哎呀，衣服没洗，你要先拿去洗。然后之后你会在那边看着那个洗衣机吗？洗衣机的话会有你的剧好看吗？不可能。所以你要去想中间大概发生什么事情，你可以把这个部分把它写在这个作文里头。
And that's important because, yes, it connects to that third panel, right? You can tell a lot of time has passed, right? So something needs to happen. I think it's really good that there's an extra sentence kind of explaining that.
没错。所以在这个地方进入到第3个环节里面，最好可以顺便交代一下，他把东西丢到洗衣机里之后，后面发生什么，整个故事说起来就会更流畅、更顺咯。
So let's take a break and then move on to the next part. Okay, let's move on to our next part. So we have the next evening, when David was about to take a shower, he noticed that his laundry basket was nowhere to be found. So if he was about to take, again, with these, you can't just say like you could say he was about to shower, but take a shower is kind of just like even better, I think, right? You can say like I'm going to go shower. But I think take a shower just kind of like more complete. You say like, I'm going to go take a shower.
比较有动作感。好，比方说今天有说，哎，我去冲个澡。好，然后如果说今天你提到说 the next evening， 好，到了第2天的这个晚上，对不对 ？When David was about to take a shower， 他就觉得好像这个句子后面这个动作就很完整的感觉。当他正打算准备要去洗澡的时候，他就说，哎 ，he noticed that his laundry basket was nowhere to be found. When you say something is nowhere to be found, 就是哪里找都找不到。突然发现到说，哎，我的洗衣篮呢？怎么都不见了呢？奇怪，我的衣服呢？那时候就很有趣了嘛，哈！你看第2张图就知道发生什么事了嘛，对不对？所以在这边的话 ，he noticed that his laundry basket was nowhere to be found。这个 was nowhere to be found 是一个非常好的用法，以后提到东西不见，怎么找都找不到的时候，就可以用进去了。
And it really corresponds with that third picture, right? Where you have David, he has like a little question mark, and then there's like missing laundry basket, right?
没错。
So the next part it says, not until that moment did David recall that he had done the laundry the night before. So if you recall something, that means you remember something. Like I suddenly recalled that I have to go to the doctor appointment or whatever, right? You have like recall that you forgot your phone or wallet, you recall something.
没错，所以在这边的话 recall 的意思就是指突然就是想起来 remember 的意思。这边这句话要特别注意一下，还有一个很特殊的句型。好，如果你看到 not until 带头的时候，它后面会出现一个倒装句的形态。你看 not until that moment， 直到那时候才怎么样？Did David recall？ 这个 did 就是额外因为倒装句而生出来的一个助动词，所以在这里的话，其实就是就是在 that moment David recalled that， 其实是可以这样讲，但是如果你用 not until 带头的话，你就要讲 not until that moment did David recall， 然后 ed 也不见了，因为 did 出现的关系，直到那时候 David 才想起来 that he had done the laundry the night before 就是 the night before 的意思是前一天晚上。当你在讲故事的时候，你不会讲 last night， 因为你现在的 last night 是昨天晚上，可是这个故事发生未必是在今天呢，所以说在这个时候要讲前一天的时候，你会讲 the night before， 而且他这边用的是 he had done the laundry， 他必须要用过去完成式，因为他 recall 的当下已经是过去式嘛。那更之前的比过去还过去的，我们必须要使用过去完成式来表达这个时间差。
So next we have David hurried to take his clothes right away. So we don't necessarily see that, right? We're kind of going into that fourth mysterious panel, right, where you can choose. And they chose to have David hurried to take his clothes right away. Like he was like rushed to go do it. He wasn't slowly taking his time. He was rushing or hurrying.
各位，我不知道你们有没有这种经验，就是你洗衣服洗完了之后，然后你忘记要去洗了，你忘记要把它收起来，把它晾出来。第二天呢，那个衣服会臭到一个不行。如果有这种经验的话，你如果跟 David 一样，想到昨晚洗衣服完了，赶快，你一定会冲过去，赶快希望早点让它不要那么臭。好，所以在这边的话，这句话他就说了 ，David 好。Hurry to take his clothes right away. 他想到的时候，马上就冲去，赶快把衣服整理整理。
However, when he took out the clothes, they gave off a terrible smell, so he had to wash them again. So if they gave off, it's not really like literally giving, but kind of if you just think of giving a smell, right? We say like you gave off a terrible smell. It's not like a terrible smell, right? You have to have some sort of verb, right? And so they gave off a smell. And you can say that with people too, like he gave off a smell of roses or something, right?
像花一样哦，散发着那种花香的那种感觉。所以在这边的话，你看到他说 ，However, when he took out the clothes， 一旦他把衣服拿出来的时候 ，they 指的就是 the clothes。Gave off a terrible smell. When you say something gives off a smell, 通常只是散发出了什么样的味道，所以这边的话还是需要一个动词去表达它散发着什么什么气味，对不对？所以 give off 在这边的话用过去式 gave off a terrible smell， 它就散发着非常难闻的味道。如果你在考试的时候你忘记了这个 give off 这种说法的话，你可以说他们就我们就使用刚刚那个 stink 这个字也可以，好，就是闻起来臭臭的感觉也行。然后他就 so he had to wash them again， 就是不得已啊，一闻到啊这个洗过等于没洗过一样，必须要再重洗一次。好，最后就是这样的结果。
So that's kind of how they want to wrap up the ending by saying, okay, so he took them out. Since they smelled like awful, then he had to wash them again. So again, it's not like they showed it in the pictures, right? But this is the conclusion that they had, like, oh, have to wash it again, start over again. Hopefully he doesn't forget this time.
对啊，没错啊，记得这次不要再看剧了，对不对？好，老师刚刚提到一个非常好的字叫 conclusion。conclusion 就是结论，或者是一个故事的最后的这个结尾是这个样子的。所以他这边的话就是等于是讲说啊，他必须要再洗一次，然后把他这个里面最后结果的地方说明出来，让故事有一个很完整的结束，然后这样子就没有问题了。
And one thing I want to note is that this ending isn't actually that long in terms of the sentences, right? It's maybe 2 whole sentences. That's kind of that last panel. So when you're taking a test or doing this, you don't have to worry about writing a big, long conclusion. Sometimes 1 or 2 sentences can really wrap up the story nicely, I think.
没错，所以说其实事实上你会注意到最后这神秘的最后的结尾，它不是用一个问号吗？你要自己帮它收尾嘛。你可以使用一个比较简单，像这个很简洁的方式去收尾就好了，不见得要长篇大论的去讲后面好多好多的事情，因为时间也有限，所以你可以用这种简单的方式，不妨把它学起来，以后可以简单的收尾，这个是很好的技巧哦。
So let's all take a break and then talk about our vocabulary words. Okay, let's get into our vocabulary words. So our first word we have is as usual. So if something happens as usual, it happens like normal or like it usually does or as like regular time, like what it does in regular times.
没错，所以 as usual 就是照旧跟平常一样的方式。
Next word we have is drama. So drama can have a couple different meanings, but in this text we used it for like TV show, TV series. So it's like a drama, not just one movie, like a series.
没错，就是看剧的那个剧嘛，对不对？可能是电视剧啊等等，你也可以用 TV series 来表达这样的概念哦。
Next we have it strikes somebody that something, right? So in the text I think we use the past tense, like it struck somebody, but yeah, it suddenly like struck me that I forgot to bring my wallet or something. It's like you suddenly like get hit with the like idea that you like forgot.
没错，好像有点像是一个那个念头突然打到你说，你那个钱包还没有带啊，或什么之类的。所以这个地方我们多半在使用的时候会用过去式来表达 it struck somebody that。那这边的话原型是 it strikes somebody that。 就是指突然想起来。
Next one we have is a little complicated, right? But we have something only to blank, right? So in our passage we had afterwards David returned to his bedroom and continued watching the drama only to accidentally fall asleep. So it wasn't the plan to fall asleep, but that's what ended up happening.
没错，所以在这里的话 only to 给人感觉就是原本计划不是这样，但是没想到居然后来是这个样子的那种没料到的那种感觉。
Next we have fall asleep. So again, we don't just suddenly like sleep. We have to fall asleep, like the action of going from awake to asleep.
没错，所以这是从从醒到睡的这种情况，这个中间的过渡跟转折那种动作感，我们用 fall asleep 睡着。
Next we have take a shower. Again, we could say shower, but this is like better if you say like you take a shower. It's kind of like the verb plus the shower.
没错，就是冲个澡的感觉。
Next we have hurry. So the opposite of taking your time, you're hurrying.
就是很快的赶忙的去做什么事情。
And lastly, we have give off, right? You give off a smell, or you can give off, I don't know, positive vibes even, right? You give off something.
对，就是散发出什么样子的气息或是味道，都可以使用 give off 这个片语哦。
So that's all the time we have today. We'll see you all next time.
Bye bye.